I'm still feeling very reverent. I had attended a wonderful, what's called Vespers, here in the Orthodox Church in Bay Ridge, and I met Deacon Fareed, who conducted the service with Father Michael, is that correct?
Father Michael Elias, yes.
And this is only my third time I've been to the Orthodox Church and been to the service, the Mass. Do we call it Mass?
We call it liturgy in the Orthodox world.
Liturgy.
It's the same thing, but we call it a liturgy.
It's wonderful, and it's so solemn. There's such a natural reverence that's in the atmosphere. And here, the other churches I've been to were Russian. I didn't understand the word. Here they speak English. I understand, but all of the words are sung. That's the way they talk to God, by singing to Him, and it's so beautiful. Deacon Fareed, can you tell us about the Orthodox Church, especially this church here in Bay Ridge?
Okay, well, this church here, Bay Ridge, is established a little over 100 years ago. Originally was downtown Brooklyn, but now, since 1950, it's been here, St. Mary's. It's always been an English-speaking, predominantly English-speaking parish. Because it was, originally when most of the immigrants that belonged to the Antiochian Orthodox Archdiocese that we belonged to.
What kind of immigrants were they?
They were mostly Syrian and Lebanese,
Right.
but also other places in the Middle East, Jordan, and other countries. But they were second generation, and they were mostly speaking English, and they wanted an English-speaking parish. And so they established St. Mary's, and they built this beautiful building, and here we are, almost 100 years later, and we have a very vibrant community, and now we have a lot of people who are Arabic-speaking also, so it's a mix.
And you said there are a lot of newcomers these days.
A lot of newcomers.
Some kind of revival is going on.
Yeah, there's a lot of curiosity about the Orthodox Church. A lot of young people, for some reason, predominantly men, are very interested in Orthodox form of worship. I think because one reason is it's very ancient, and it doesn't change, and it's very ordered, and it's very liturgical, and you could hear the same service in this church or downtown Brooklyn at St. Nicholas Cathedral or at Holy Cross, the Greek church. It'll be in Greek, but everything will be the same. There'll be the same gospel reading, the same epistle reading, the same prayers are said. So there's a uniformity in the Orthodox world, and that it seems to be very attractive to young people these days. So we've got a number of young men who have just wandered in or found us on the internet, and we educate them. We have Bible study. We work together till they learn a sufficient amount about the church, and if they really, truly in their heart want to become Orthodox, then we sometimes have to baptize them. Sometimes their baptism is okay. We just have to chrismate them. And
Chrismate them?
Chrismate them, yeah.
What does that mean?
Chrismation is one of the 7 sacraments. It's in the Orthodox Church, it's done at baptism. When we do an infant, we baptize them, and then we chrismate them. That means we put the holy oil on them and seal them.
I got that.
Yeah.
When I was a baby.
In the Catholic Church, they do it when a person's about 7 years old or so.
Okay.
They call it confirmation.
Oh, that's what it
It's
was.
the same thing.
All right, that's
It's
okay.
the same. It's a different word for the same
Yeah.
thing. It's sealing with the Holy Spirit, with
Now,
the holy oil, with the Holy Spirit.
I'm very familiar with the Catholic Church, and you guys are very similar. However, and it's wonderful that you guys do it in English where I can understand it and it's sung, but it takes a lot of familiarity to kind of keep up, right? Because it's very ritualistic and repetition in the prayer, but you've got to know where you are in order to keep up. Otherwise, I just sit there and I'll stand there and be reverent. Can you recommend a way to do that other than just showing up, or usually show up?
No, there is a much better way. What's nice is to know what the prayers that are going to be said. So
Yes,
you could
yes.
look at them beforehand and you could have an idea.
Yes.
And they all revolve around the cycle of the year. Like now, we're getting ready for Great Lent. We're leading up to the crucifixion and the resurrection of Jesus. So what you can do is you can go on the Antiochian.org website and you can look on the liturgic section, and then you can print out, or you want to do it on your phone, you could do it that way.
Yep.
But you could have the exact service that was said tonight, you could just print it out.
And you can
It's
keep
free.
it, wow, so
And you
that's
can keep
fantastic.
it. So you could
That's
study
good,
it,
yes.
and then you could bring it with you, and while the chanting is going on, you could be reading the words, so you don't miss anything.
Okay, that's excellent. I'm
So
gonna
you
do
really-
just that.
And what
I got the cheat right there.
what will actually happen in the Orthodox Church is, if you do that like every week, you will learn the whole theology of the church, because
It's
all
in-
of the
liturgy.
theology is in the services.
That's wonderful.
Between liturgy and Vespers and Orthodox, we call it Matins. Before we do the main Mass, what we call liturgy, we do a 1 hour or so prayer service called morning prayers or Matins.
Before the service.
Before the service, an hour before. So that's
Do
when
the laity
all-
join that as well, or is that just the priests?
No, it's the priest, and whoever wants to read and sing can join us on the chanter stand and read and sing. We have children that come up that are very good readers, and they want to read, and they do some readings. But all the theology of the whole cycle of the year is all in those services, and mostly in Matins and Vespers. There's a lot of it in Vespers tonight, right? So all these prayers about forgiveness.
Is that what Vespers are, literally? Prayers
Vespers,
of forgiveness?
Vespers mean evening prayers.
Okay.
Means evening prayers. So because tomorrow is Sunday, today is Great Vespers. This is actually preparation for Sunday beginning.
So will there be prayers tomorrow night, be regular Vespers?
There could be. We don't do them here though.
Why is that?
You got
You gotta go to the
in
big
monasteries. In monasteries, they
monasteries.
do them all. We only do Great Vespers on Saturday evening, and we do liturgy on Sundays always, and we do all feast days. So there's a lot of feast days. So there's a lot of weekday liturgies for feast days.
I've got to tell you, not only were you so informative to me, I want to come back here and
Well, come
learn and
back
practice
and
more.
study.
And I
Come back
feel
and
it.
study with us, and it's a wonderful.
I think I shall, Deacon.
It's not foreign to Roman Catholics, the Orthodox Church.
It is familiar. That's the wonderful thing about it.
The theology
Catholics.
is very, very close. It just, the form of worship is a little different, but the Catholic Church is also very liturgical, so it's not that different.